Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more hip hop news. And of course, I've seen this debate on socials for the last maybe couple of weeks, especially since the big three all dropped their projects. Two of them, which Drake and J.COLE dropped their projects this year. It's been a few years since GNX dropped, so we do have more time with that album to sit and actually think about that project and actually being able to fully listen to it and get some time with it. But this argument is an easy debate for me because this debate is basically about whose album is more timeless, whose album has more replay value, whose album sounds better sonically. All those things, replay value, all of those things go into consideration of who has a better album or who has a great album, and just generalities, not just these three people, but I always use that same criteria if I'm going to say an album is great, not good, but great. Um, and there's only one album that has that. And none of these albums, for context, are the best in their discographies because Drake has better albums. Kendrick has better albums than they've dropped recently. J. Cole definitely has better albums than he dropped recently. And J. Cole, I think he dropped the fall off after a long hiatus and a lot of anticipation, a lot of controversy with the big three conversation, with the beef with Drake and Kendrick. So a lot of people wanted to hear what he had to say. Can he redeem himself? I don't think he did. That album doesn't have a lot of replay value. It has a lot of music, and a lot of that music is uh, I think a cop out. I think it was diluted just to give you a lot of music to say, okay, he gave us a lot of music. We'll be satisfied with that. But I only listened to one song that has any replay value, and it's the song where he kind of did an ode to Commons. I used to love her. I think it's called Still Lover or something like that. That's the only one that I still listen to here and there, but it's not something I go to every week or every month. Every now and then it'll pop up on a playlist and I'll listen to it, but it has no replay value. That Fall Off album, I feel like he fell off. So it was appropriately named if that was what he was trying to do, but that's supposed to be his final album. And if that's his final album, that definitely hurts his legacy. Then you go to the Iceman album, very diluted as well because he dropped a lot of songs on that album, but he dropped two other projects with it. So it gave us a lot of music to kind of confuse us, but I wasn't confused. That project was definitely not his best work. So it's easy now when they say name rank Drake albums from worst to best. I'm putting those three that he just put out, Iceman, and the other two albums. I can't even think Habita or whatever it is, and the other album title. Those are the bottom three for me because it was just a lot of music, a lot of dilution. And Ray Daniels talked about this before. I don't really think Drake has a classic album because he just gave us a bunch of music all the time and we never got a chance to sit with the music. But when now that we sit with it, a lot of that music didn't age well. A lot of it didn't. Some of it did, a lot of it didn't. Because most of it was just him talking about trash and past relationships he had and settling old beefs. A lot of that stuff didn't age well. But Iceman had really no replay value. The only replay value songs were the good songs that were produced by 40, I believe. All those make them cry, make them pay. All of those make them songs were the only songs that really had replay value, and that's because he went out a lot of people. Those songs might not age in a couple of years, but right now, those are the only songs that I really feel had a lot of uh, replay value to them. Because a lot of Drake songs is the same cadence, it's the same flow, it's the exact same thing. It's getting kind of old to me. I know the younger kids like it because they're not used to it, but if you've we've been listening to Drake since 2010, it's the same exact scheme. It's the same exact setup. Um, and a lot of his beefs are with people that can't go back at him or people that he's already lost against that's not coming back to resettle those beefs. So it's one of the worst albums that I think he's released, and a lot of people giving him a pass because they were so hard on him for the beef with Kendrick. So people are feeling like they need to be back in his good graces, and people are trying to be even keel about it, but not being honest. So if you ask me, GNX was obviously the best album out of the big three between GNX, Fallout, and of Iceman. GNX was just more concise. He experimented with a new sound, which is a West Coast sound that he grew up listening to, grew up around. Um, he veered away from his conscious rap. He gave us another look, and he was effective at doing it. He went outside the box of what he usually does. He gave us club music and party bangers, outside music, and he was able to do that with a different sound and still be good at it because there's only 12 tracks. And I think for the most part, it's only like maybe one or two songs that I really don't like. But like I said before, it wasn't his best work, but he did it for the culture and he did something different while still being skillful at it. A lot of underrated songs like Whacked Out Murals. He had the reincarnated song where he's mimicking the Tupac flow, which showed he can, mimic rappers and rap in a different flow and cadence, unlike, J.COLE and Drake, what they did on their albums. So he gets and I gave him much credit for not even dissing Drake on the GNX album at a time where he could have easily done it. He didn't put Not Like Us or Euphoria on that album on GNX because most people use that because it can be credited towards the sales eventually, and he didn't do that. So he didn't even put Not Like Us or Euphoria on an album, where those were his 2 biggest songs before he dropped this project, and he didn't even drop a single, and that's another credit for him because he was able to do that. So this GNX album simply was the best album out of the big 3, the last albums that they put out, and I don't think it's even close in my opinion because the other 2 gave us the same exact music and it gave us worse music. So tell me your thoughts about who had the best album between GNX, The Fall Off, and Iceman. Until next time, I'll see you next time.